I came back to this planet for the New Earth shift. The shift is coming, and chances are, if you're watching this video or even clicked on this video, you might be part of this. This is Ryan Talk. Let's get into it. So one of the common phrases that you're hearing a lot these days is, I had to forget who I was in order to come back here. I know Dolores Cannon talks about it. I think the Law of One talks about it. And it's this idea that the Earth was calling out in order to save itself. There was a lot of nuclear testing being done. There was a lot of talk of world wars that were going to absolutely destroy this planet, and the consciousness of the planet, it was started reaching out. It started reaching out. It says, please send anybody that you can to this planet. Now, one of the things I've always known about my life is that I died in 1940s. I don't know the exact year. I was over the Pacific Ocean in a P-51 Mustang. I've seen this dream my entire life. It usually happens at least once a month, if not more. I get shot down, falling out of the sky. I can see myself landing, going towards the ocean. And there was almost this peace that came over me because I knew I wasn't going to be here anymore. There was something about this planet that drives me nuts. And I was like, I'm gone. And it's weird because I've done meditations about that with this being that came to me last December, that said it was part of me. And I said, well, you always be here. Will I always be able to talk to you? And it says, yes, because I am you. And I didn't know what that means. But one of the things that it told me was I have to be here during this period of time. And I constantly have these flashbacks of landing or being destroyed in the Pacific Ocean. I'm assuming, if you're watching to this point, you've had some of this stuff. You've probably had past life regressions or thoughts, or maybe you have a recurring dream. If you do, leave it down in the comments section. I'd like to hear other people who have this going on. And one of the things also about my life is I kind of knew that this happened when I was born. I didn't really ever want to be here, but one of the things I was always obsessed with was plane. But I was obsessed with aviation. I thought that was what I came here for. I thought I was going to continue where I left off. But one of the things that had happened to me, maybe when I landed in the ocean, I have no idea, is I have a messed up foot now. I mean, I can walk. Most people who see me out in the day to day, they have no idea this is going on, but it disqualified me from the military. And I'm like, why am I here? So I started really thinking on this, and I couldn't figure it out because I had always known that there was something else going on. Even in like the first day of first grade, I was the only person on the bus, and I threw my apple at the bus driver, and my exact words were, take me back to my house. I don't want your propaganda. And the bus driver's like, where did you hear these words? When I was in preschool, I'm like, I don't want any of your illusions. I don't want any of this. So I've kind of always been there. I never wanted that structure, that 12-step program that everybody's put into to basically turn you into an employee, which I never wanted to be. Probably why I've had like 50 or 60 jobs in my career of working as minimally as possible. Always known this. And I'm assuming if you're watching this video, you had to have this feeling. You have to have this pull. This new shift is coming. I've heard that 2027 is when there's going to be the separation. People, like Jesus said, I've said it in like every video, like there will be two people in a field. There'll be two men in a field. One will be taken and one will not be taken. And I can see it coming, and I can see the separation coming. You can see the separation. There's a clear division these days. And there's people who are watching the people on the other side of the division like, how can you not be on this side of the fence? But that fence is going to be so high one day that we can't even see anybody. And I wouldn't want to be on the third dimensional fence. I'm not coming back here. When I leave here, I'm not coming back. This was an experiment. I've been here many times. I'm not doing it again. So fast forward to third grade, and I've talked about this in every single video, but it was a very pivotal moment. I was writing this little essay. We had to write an essay about ourselves or something like that. I don't remember the exact assignment. And I wrote that on my 42nd year, I would awaken and know exactly what I had to do. Now, it's been a struggle because I haven't wanted to do what I've got to do, is about getting the message out there, especially when I saw the flack that a lot of people were getting. But I have to do it. This is why I'm here. And I've always seen what was going on. Like, one of the first phrases I ever told my parents is, I don't want to be on this planet. And they're like, what is this kid? Like, where did this kid come from? I just never wanted to be here. And it's ironic because my sister is the exact same way. We struggle on this planet because we know what nonsense it is. I never felt like I belonged. It's weird because I had so many friends. I could never relate. I always felt like the outsider, the alienated one. But even though everybody always wanted to hang out with me. Here I am. I'm talking about this new age stuff that you're listening to right now, and I know this new shift is coming. And I'm just trying to get this video out there, honestly, just to see what other people have had in their previous life, because it's just very interesting to me to have such a knowing of what you've been through, what you're going through, why you're here. Now knowing and watching all these videos and talking to other people as the reason that we're all here. There's so many of us that just don't feel like we fit in. Where back in the day, if you look at people back in the 40s and 50s, they were like a part of this whole thing. They were a part of the system. They were plugged in. And things have really, now I know there's other circumstances behind this, but there are, like, it's falling apart fast. The old systems are falling apart fast. Some people are gripping onto the old system so hard that they can't stand the people who don't want to be a part of the system. And there's a lot of division, and that's where Two Men in a Field comes in hand. I think the people who are gripping onto the system really hard, they're probably going to stay here. They're probably not going to make that leap, but maybe they will. Maybe they'll see a video like this and say, oh, I mean, because who really wants to go? I mean, if you think about traditional household, I like the traditional house. I'm all for it. But I think everybody should do a role that they actually like to do. I'm the male, right? So if I'm going to a job that I hate every single day, and then I'm coming home and, there's always bickering and fighting, all we do is watch TV. That's a miserable life. But if you find somebody that you're not doing that with, if you find somebody that you click with, that's like a dream, right? I think you really have to find the people that are on the same wavelength as you, because if you find somebody that isn't, I just can't imagine how terrible that's going to be. I mean, I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. In closing, if there's something in your life that you really want to do, you've always really wanted to do it, and you can't do it for whatever reason, maybe that's a signal that this is what you did in a previous life or a previous planet or whatever it is. And there's so many planets, but you're not supposed to do that here. You're supposed to do something else. Like me with the foot, it disqualified me from being in the military. That has to be, there has to be a reason behind that. I don't believe in coincidence. Coincidence is like a perfect thing in mathematics, and on the planet, I mean, everything is mathematical, so it means a perfection. A coincidence is a perfection that was happened in your life, and you can just agree to it or not agree to it, but you have to move on from it. And I think that is where most people are getting to this point in their life. If those who are waking up are probably trying to shoehorn themselves into something just because it's the safe way of going. And I just don't think that anybody can be happy in the safe way of doing things. I just don't think it's possible. Comments, questions down below about any of this. Let me know what previous, if you want to talk about it. Some people are really shocked or just embarrassed almost about what happens in some of their dreams or some of their, maybe their previous life, or even talking about it. So you might not want to comment about it, but boy, what a journey. Anyway, like, subscribe, and I'll talk to you in the next video.